3, 2, 1. Live on YouTube. Good morning, YouTube. Okay. And let's see. IG. We should be live. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Live on IG. Good morning, IG. And last but not least, okay. On X in 3, 2, 1. Okay, live on X. Okay, live on X top post. All right, everything's good to go. I'll see you on. See you in about 5 minutes.
Perfect.
USA safe.
Who came to join us for the show? Hey, Luko.
What's up? Oh, who's that?
I know you like cats. Somebody
Yeah,
came.
I love it. What's his name?
Snickers.
Snickers. Oh, so cute.
He came to watch your show.
Nice. It's probably that Felix show up later and come to say hi. Oh, look at you. Oh, love that sculpture.
Good morning, Chris.
Look, he just arrived to say
Uh,
hi to you.
I just saw that. All right, hang
I told
on.
you, I told you.
Oh, hey, you sneaky! You got to get that back on your head. How did you get that off your head? All right. I got to sneak. I got to sneak. I got a sneak who slipped the dish. You had to do that right now? All right, hang on, everybody. I got a runaway cat with a missing dish, and I got to get this dish on his head real quick. Hang on, yo. All right. Good morning, everyone. Cat, you're gonna be part of the show today. This was funny because today's show is I know the man on the other side of this is a cat lover. Come here, Snickers. Come here. Come on, don't give me a hard time. All right, let's go. Fine, fine, fine. Now, don't sneak out the dish again. All right, you got it? You got it, Mr. Sneaky? Okay. Thank you. I appreciate everyone's patience. 1 hour. Let me tell you, 1 hour of that thing not being on that cat's head and the damage that it. I'll go right to square one. All right. Welcome to the show. Whew, a little eventful beginning of the show there. All right. I'd like to welcome everybody to HOP. How's it going? Happy Friday morning. I got a sneaky cat, but I got to keep that dish on his head. We're looking good. We're making progress, and I don't want to go backwards right now. Anyways, seems appropriate for today's show. So we haven't had Luko on in, I don't know, almost a year now. And so we have an avid cat lover, and we're going to catch up with Luko and see what's been going on. We're going to do a little recap show. We've had the other two parts of the Art Cartel on, Hudasaka and Zapata, and it's been quite an eventful year, as well as him just getting back from Art Basel. So let's bring him on and let's say hello, and let's see everything that's going on that's good in his world. Well, I think I have a cat who just figured out how to get the neck thing off. This guy. What's up, Luko? Say hello to everybody.
Yo, what's up, everyone? GM, happy Friday from Bogota, Colombia. I'm super happy at the studio and happy to be again in the show with Marc. What's good?
What's good, Luko? Luko, new studio. You just got done with Art Basel. I also know that you made a really nice sale as well. I mean, you've been having a good run. I love these little mini abstracts that you got going on. Those little guys, I'm a big fan of. So, Luko, before we start the show, I want you to do me a favor and give everybody a brief introduction to who you are and a little bit about you. A little bit about, your art. And, yeah, why don't you take it from here, Luko? Go ahead, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Well, to the people that don't know me, my name is Luko. I am a soul painter from Colombia, Bogota, Latin America. Um, my history of art with arts has been pretty long since I was a child. My mom is an artist. My dad is an architect. I have like both creative lines, the expressive line, and of course like the figurative order and all this small detail line of work and craft. And I've been painting my entire life, but I've been living from my arts since 2020. 2019, 2020, I started like with my craft, with my painting, doing some stuff. I studied great arts in the university, and I've been like diving my life into the arts. So with that line, an idea, the art of living was born, and the art of living is basically like the philosophy and the way I see life through the arts, and I see arts through the life, because to me, both are connected, and my idea and my main goal is to just share my voice, express my soul, and share like a way to live the life with the arts. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, it's kind of the things that I do. I love the abstract art, but I also love photography. I love to do different things. To be honest, I am like an expressionist, so I've been like diving my work into the color, because color is kind of my language and the way that I use to create art, but also to express my feelings, emotions, unconscious, do catharsis of my days, show my life, because, well, that's the meaning of the art of living. And yeah, that's a little bit of me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Luko. I want to say that in the last year, I felt like you've become extremely focused. And I really felt that when I guess I was watching you kind of rearrange your studio. I mean, I know when, when someone becomes focused, you see, yeah, you see all the basically like a rock in an ocean, and you get a drop, but it ripples outward. Usually there's a drop of inspiration, and then boom, you start to see all the ripples outward take place. So I'm sitting there, and you're like fixing up my putting together my new studio and getting it clean, and just watching you, put everything. I said, oh man, Luko's he's got these little mini abstracts going. Had a chance to get it to meet you, NFT NYC 25, and I know you just got done with Art Basel, but we haven't. I actually went back and I looked at the schedule, and I think it was January. I want to say January. And it was crazy because I thought you were the last of the art cartel that I had on, but it turns out Huda Saka was the last guy on. But I think it was the beginning of January. We haven't spoke to in a year. I mean, I feel like I know what's going on, but everybody else doesn't. So maybe you want to talk a little bit about what's been going on in the last year. And I know you've certainly had a tremendous amount of accomplishments and shows. Your work's been showing in a lot of different places. Not only that, but made some decent sales as well. And then the new studio and everything. I mean, maybe you want to talk a little bit about the last year and everything that you got going on.
Yeah, man, for sure. Well, I have to be honest. This year has been crazy to me. I feel that it has been, in the personal side, the most challenging year, because I have like faced a lot of different situations, not only like in the work, in the professional side, but also in the emotional, in the personal side. So that's true that I have been like focusing to myself. In this entire year, I've been passing through different process, from, like, as you mentioned, exhibitions, shows, experience, to also like ceremonies, ancestral medicine ceremonies, a lot of yoga, a lot of things that, like, in the personal side, meditation. I've been like diving a lot this year into a heal process. Um, it's been like thought. It's been like thought. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just like to be honest with everyone, and and I always show like the face of the good, and we are good, doing well, and we are vibing, and the good vibes, and the energy, and the art of living. But also we are being showing also like this dark side, and all the processes, and all the experience, and all the moments that I've been passing through, which we are all humans, and we have ups and we have downs. But yeah, man, definitely. There's a lot of highlights to me. To me, it's like just living a dream. Each day that I woke up and I do my stuff, and I go to the studio and I came to paint and I do my things. It's just like living your dream each day, and that's something that I've been working towards really, really intentional way in all these months, because for me, like having like gratitude and being present gives me like the peace that I am searching for, of being here right now, not being in the past, or maybe being in the future, or maybe like juggling in different emotional states or experiences life. So I'm trying to stay connected, I'm trying to stay present, and I'm trying to stay always grateful for the life that I got, for the opportunities that I got, and of course, like, for the chance to keep building and keep like uplifting the voice. And of course, with One Love, all the things that has happened, the shows, the exhibitions, all the work behind the scenes, it's been massive and it's been awesome. And of course, with my guys, the art cartel, big shout out to Zapata and Hudasaka. We've been having a blast these years. I mean, it's been awesome to see all the big wins to for all of us, like not only me but also them. Hudasaka's solo show, all the shows that has been part, like Zapata, the showcases, and of course, like he got like just a week before in Miami. Absolutely stunning, man. A great show, live performance. It was like the first time that I saw you doing something like that with his Palometa and with his drops and with the collection, and also like doing something really meaningful to things that he loves, which is drink, like Cheers collection and all these things. So for me, has been super meaningful and important to be present and stay present. Of course, all the changes that has come has been bringing like different things, sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes like management in the internal part of the work, as a professional, as an artist, as a creative, a lot of burnout, a lot of moments where you feel like, man, I don't know if I can continue to keep doing this, or maybe I need to change my life, or I need to do maybe like the idea of throw the towel. But anything of that has happened, because always life, God, and the universe bring me again to the track, connect me again to the people, connect me again to the community, to the Web3 movement, and all this stuff, and always shows me like, oh, remember, this is the direction, this is the way, this is the path. So keep doing it, like continue chasing your own journey and being grateful for that. So that's a little bit of the general side of this year. I mean, it's a little bit difficult to say this happened, because as we know, here in Web3, time flies and everything is super wild. So yeah, man, that's what I got.
Hey, Luko, when you talk about the healing process, meditation, yoga, it's interesting that you bring these things up. There was a time in my life when I felt, I used to read a lot, study a lot of very successful people. A lot of successful people said they would meditate 20 minutes early in the morning, 20 minutes late at night, kind of like the first thing they do when they wake up, last thing they do when they go to sleep. Just 20 minutes and 20 minutes. That's the meditative process. But then also there is yoga as well, which I had picked up. And it became part of my daily routine for a little bit, especially in the summer. I have a beach about 5 minutes away, and it's an easy bike ride. It's only like 5, maybe 15-minute bike ride. And I just used to bring my bike down somewhere like around 10, 11 in the morning. I would ride over there, sometimes even earlier. And then there's this it's a very quiet section. I just put my towel out, do my yoga, and then I would be back home in about an hour. But let me tell you, the mental clarity and calmness and peace that it created within me, just having those few minutes to like really think out and work things out. And a lot of times you work things out to yourself, when you're alone. You kind of start putting the pieces back together, and then you pop out even stronger than before. I was just curious, when you say healing process, and also, do you create during this time? Like, is this a good time to create during this time, or do you strictly just work on yourself and then a new, it's like, well, I'm gonna throw all of that on your plate, and I'm just gonna let you run with it. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, I love it. Well, man, this year about the healing process and the stuff, it's because I've been passing through like really tough situations in the personal and emotional side. An example, I break up my relationship of 6 years with my ex-girlfriend, and that has been like really difficult for me to manage. And at the same time, to keep my business and to keep my life going, but having this emotional part and having like all these things. I I've always have spoke openly about the importance of therapy and the importance of the psychology and the mental health, because it's been for me like, I mean, the art of living for me is not just creating art, but also is to learn who I am through the art, like discover who who is this guy and who is on me and what is on my past, on my life, on my legacy, on my genealogical tree and all these things. That's the art of living, more than just paint crazy stuff and abstract things. It's like to really try to connect my own soul and myself. I call it like the Trinity: spirit, mind, and body. That's like the three things that I try to connect it. So this year I've been trying to really, really consciousness dive more into meditation and breathing work, because it's the way that anxious go down, and that's, as you mentioned, like you be more present and you like feel different when you do the things with intention. So, I mean, for me, it's more in the personal side. I try to meditate in the mornings, like just to start the day, stretch a little bit, move my body, maybe do a little bit of exercise and stuff, and then meditate. I am not like a high meditate guy. I mean, 20 minutes for me, it's crazy. And I hope one day I could achieve that, because that's like my goal, to try to find this moment of peace and clearness and breathing and just stay connected with my body. But this time I'm trying to do like between 5 and 10 minutes to kick the day off. But when I got to start creating outside this meditation state and stuff, I also always do like a ritual, which is like to activate my senses, to, like put some music, maybe turn up a light, like yeah, the like these things, like I forgot the name in English, but it's, like
Scented candles.
the candles turn
Okay.
up like a candle, put some music, like just like activate my
You get
senses,
into the
and
mood.
then
You get into the mood.
yeah, get into the flow. I call it like that, get into the flow. And then when I feel like truly connected and truly like in presence in the studio in the moment, then I came up with the ideas, with the concept, with the project that I am working, or just to express, like sometimes I create without expectations or without having in my mind like, oh, I need to finish this piece, or this is gonna be the masterpiece of my life. No, I just came up with do my stuff, and then I work on it through the time and through the layers and through the days and emotions. Because for me, abstract creation, abstract expression is about the connection between your soul, mind, and body through the color.
Hey, I was gonna say, do you know who, or are you familiar with? I think I'm saying his name right. Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle. Are you?
Eckhart Tolle?
Yeah. Are you?
Not sure.
No, okay.
Not sure.
So Eckhart Tolle is a guy who wrote a book. His book is called "The Power of Now." And when you talk about the power of now, it's the book was really about. I have the audio version. I should hook you up with the audio. I don't know if you're an audio guy or you read book. I don't know if you're a book reader. For me, I'm an I you give me a book and you'll find me passed out in it. But if you give me an audio book, I will finish that One, two,
like
three.
podcasts and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. For some reason, I do a lot better when it comes to like sitting and listening. I do much better with that. So I have the audiobook. I don't know if you're an audiobook guy. Sometimes I feel like maybe when you're creating, it's a good thing to listen to in the background.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I am more from audio, like music, audio, and stuff, more than read. I want to dive a little bit more deeper into the reading because I feel like it's important and it gives you like a completely different perspective into the things you do. But definitely, podcasts and audio and all the stuff works for me. And as you mentioned, in the studio, you don't have time to read and to do the stuff. You're like just doing your craft, and so having the headphones and maybe meaningful stuff could be awesome to share.
it's good stuff to listen to in the background. However, what listening this is so Luca. This is interesting, right? Because you never heard of Eckhart Tolle or Eckhart Tolle, right? You never listened to Power and Now, never read the book, but the stuff that you're talking about is pretty close to like this is a great book because he speaks about the focus of being in the present, and he teaches you how to be in the present through meditative states. And he also, one of the tricks that he teaches you is what you were saying about not living too much in the past, which is obviously what a lot of us do. We harp and focus on things that happened with other people, or just different things. And I'm going to repeat. And then a lot of times we're focused on the future, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but we miss the present, And so he teaches. Eckhart talks about being, the power of now, which now is the true present time, this period right now that we're experiencing, right at this moment. How to be in this moment and not be wrapped up in what's going on behind you or what's possibly in the future. And he teaches you this through a meditative state by very interesting. The breathing techniques, right, and how to. It tells you to pay very close attention to, if you're going into a meditative state, how to actually become in the present time period, which is by focusing. So when you're breathing, you focus on the air coming over your teeth, right? You just want to focus on this section right here. And if you focus on the air as you breathe in, the air coming over the teeth, the air going, back out through the teeth, you're focusing on a moment that's taking place right now in this very present time. And so that then allows you to branch out and build around that like breathing experience in that meditative state, which then brings you into this very present moment, which then brings you into this moment of the present, which is, right at you're living now, right? The art of living, experiencing everything that is taking place and not, just not living your life, but it has meaning. I think it would be an awesome listen. But this is the first thing that I thought of when I was listening to you speak earlier. I'm like, holy shit, he's talking about Eckhart. Now, I'm sure a lot of different people have these philosophies, but Eckhart Tolle he was one of the first things that I ever listened to that kind of. So how do you get into this like, meditative state, which is a lot of people have difficulties because you have to shut off your mind, as complete silence, can't think of anything, no distractions. And then when you truly fall into this meditative state of the present, that's kind of like when you get a lot of answers and you become very connected, and you see a lot of stuff. And then I think this is the moment where you're talking about painting from the soul, if I have this correctly, because then it's, you're so connected to this moment in time of the present that everything is pouring out of you. And then that is what's kind of pouring onto the canvas. I don't know if I described it correctly, Luko, but that was my...
You did it.
All right.
No, you did it. And also, if you can share with me this audio, it will be amazing because I'm trying to get myself more connected and having more knowledge about the stuff because, like we can search and we can like dive into, oh, how do I be present? Oh, how to meditate and stuff. But when it comes to the action and to the doing, like the work I'm doing, it becomes like more difficult. So definitely share with me that. It will help me a lot into my process and to upgrade my methods, if I can call it like that. But yeah, you describe it like perfectly. It's kind of the way that I do, and mainly is because like I've been always talk about this, and creating the way that I create really connects me with my inner child, and that is something really important to me to keep always up and to keep always like light it up in the fire, being a child, because my childhood was really, really amazing and meaningful to me. I got a lot of memories, a lot of friends, a lot of present moments because when I was a child, there were no internet, there were no different things that, of course, are right now in these days. So my days were like that moment, feeling the present, living, hurting myself when I get down to, with the bike, or like, you know. So when I paint, I just remind that moment in my life which bring me a lot of peace. And in this journey, my main goal is to find peace. Like, you know, it's not like to have solved my life or to have like perfect my life, because I feel like that is false. Like, you don't have a perfect life, and the life is gonna throw you down and up many ways and in many, many, many times that you cannot control. But what you can do is to find balance. You know, I just relate the same idea and the same concept like to the surfing. You know, like you need to stay in the waves, you need to stay in the water, but you need to balance yourself. And it only gonna work if you are like present and connected. If you're surfing and you're thinking about in whatever thing or whatever
That's
stuff,
right.
you're not gonna be like in the moment to stay the balance and keep the balance. So for me, creating art is like the same thing and the same line. When I am creating, when I am painting, when I am doing my stuff, I am in the moment. I am not tomorrow or not the day before or the day after. I am in the moment creating, messing up my hands, messing up with my body, putting music and letting the soul speak with flow. It's like of the idea that I have with my art of living concept and philosophy, you know?
Yeah, it's it's interesting. A soul surfer, right? Like that's such a good analogy that because the minute you are not present on that board, you're gonna wipe out.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't be thinking about anything, and a lot of it. I mean, this translates to a lot of different. It's just life, bro. I think we get so I think we have such issues. We get so caught up, distracted just by so many different things. And then on top of it, there's all these people that are, they want your attention. And you could get caught up with the wrong people. You could get distracted so easily. It's very important to definitely find balance in life. And then you always know when something's right and something's not right because when you introduce something new into your life, either you find either your life stays in balance. Yeah, I have this thing, right? Like whenever they call them transitional periods, and a transitional period is could be anything. It could be a new move, right? Let's say you're moving to a new studio or creating a new studio, a new move to art, a new collection. It's a new relationship, maybe a new business deal, or maybe a big move. Maybe you're moving to a completely new, area, and it's these transitional periods are very rocky. They create a lot of havoc. I feel like we just went through a very big transitional period, and then you introduce yourself to all. It's like almost like a fish in an aquarium. Like you acclimate, right, and you got a new transition, and then there's a lot of distractions. But like I always find that whenever you implement new things, I say if you find balance within the new, it brings your life balance rather than chaoticness, if that's a word. It's very. You ever let something into your life and it just creates chaos, and it's hang on, let me rethink that. You know what I mean? And so I often find that in life, the better you have balance, the better you handle everything. Your creative process, Luko. I find this very interesting because I almost feel like I get everything that you're saying when you say bring your soul. You know, you're a soul painter, right? Because when you're creating, you're actually creating that moment in time the way you feel. Um, I never, you know, it's before I met you, before I met Dorothy, and a few others. As abstract, right? I never really understood abstract. I had a hard time just understanding abstract, right? And as a very ignorant way of looking at abstract, I think people are like, well, you know, just throwing shit at the canvas. But it's so much, right, right? Like that's a, I feel
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
right? A lot of people just
That's a
say,
statement. Yeah, I mean,
right?
that's a general statement.
Yeah, people say that, right? And I think that's a very, so I'm going to say that there was a time where, you know, it's even Jackson Pollock, right? Like even when it came to his abstracts, I would look at them and be like, I don't get it. The guy's just throwing shit at the canvas. Like it don't make any sense to me. But then people see more because I think they understand the meaning behind it, right? I never understood the meaning or the connection to it, where it's basically literally your emotions, your present feelings, and you create from a very colorful place, Luko. You know, which is you know, all of your abstracts are very, very. The color palettes are always very interesting. They're very glowing. They come from, and so it's very difficult to understand someone's art unless you hear them speak about it. And the first time I got to know you, it was like, oh shit, like yeah, no, that's all right. Now, like I understand, right?
It
Like
makes sense. It makes sense.
yeah, I want you to so I want you to describe and talk about and explain about that a little bit because I think that's an important facet to you because I don't think
Yep.
people realize you know that you're creating straight from an emotional state. But yeah, it's interesting because a lot of these emotional states are very colorful. I don't ever see a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, I don't. I've seen dark abstract people, but I don't see that with you. You know, I see you come from a very so it's interesting how you draw from, well, you've said it earlier, how you draw from a childhood state, how that's very important for you to protect and connect to. But maybe you could just talk a little bit about the process because I think that's important when it comes to you and your art.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I feel like it's very intuitive and it's very visceral and gestural as a human, you know. For me, abstraction is not like for the people to understand it, but also like to make people feel like like what is this? I don't create art to be honest for the people to say, oh, that's beautiful, that's amazing. I really create art for the people to think about more deeply and more like diving into the soul because at the end I am trying to communicate my own soul with the world and with my expression in the craft. So it's kind of the same line that I am searching for. So when it comes to abstract art, I feel like you will not understand it abstract art at all. Like you never gonna understand the abstract art at all. But what you can understand, it's who is the artist behind and what is his voice, his message,
Right.
his method, whatever it happens. And then you're gonna start like connecting points and connecting dots to really understand not only a piece, but also like the general craft. So when it comes, I really enjoy abstract art, like outside my own art and my own creation. I am a really true lover of abstract artists in the world, in the history, in the contemporary. Nowadays in the Web3 world, there's a bunch of amazing abstract creators and expressionists, and I feel it's more like it's kind of a mirror when you look an
Right.
abstract piece. You know,
Right.
it's kind of what you find to your own self and how do you feel. Maybe some abstraction gonna make you feel good or happy or oh this is vibes like in my case because I am a Latin, I am from Colombia and I feel that my colors are pretty near to the lane of being a Latin American um, person and human, and of course the correlation that it has with the nature, which is my kind of my temple. I use these vibrant colors that I also find in the sky, that I also find in the trees, that I also find in the floor, in the flowers and different things, and also in insects. You know, there's some insects that has pretty vibrant colors and pretty crazy tones, and textures and different things. So I try to abstract that world and pure it into my own world, which is like my expression, my soul, my childhood, my presence, my intention. So for me, abstraction is more than just creating images. Is more about to immortalizing a moment in the time. You know, there's no two abstract pieces. There's only one-on-one pieces. Each creation is different because the strokes, the line, the moment that you pure or combine a color and put it into the canvas, it's unique. It's a one-on-one. And that's for me the importance to build up the legacy through the voice that I am trying to build in the years of the art of living, of showing my country, of showing my energy, or showing like my youth, because I am a young guy, I'm still young. So I have this energy of, oh, I like to go party, I like to go to dance, I like to go to enjoy like a sunset, or to just hang out with friends and put some music loud and just to have a road trip, or this type of experience that are human experience, but I am just trying it to not replicate, but also to express and catar them into the colors, into the creations. And that's kind of the way that I build up my craft. And of course, like I work through layers, through lines, through colors, composition, texture. That's part. Theory of the color and all these things, that's part more into the technical side, if I can call it like that. In the technical side, in the tools that I use, my main tool is spray paint. So I been like training a lot myself into use in different ways the spray paint to have big edges, to have small details, to have different things with the same tool. And I feel like the moment where I am creating is the moment that is really important. And the result, which is the piece, is the is kind of the certification of the living experience that I got before and after creating a piece. You got like a little bit my idea?
Luko, let me ask you a question. When do you find you know what? Let me ask you a couple different questions. All right, let's start with this. I don't want to get I don't want to throw too many questions at you. When do you find is the best? Like, when's the best? When do you find it to be like the best state to create? Like, are you a night guy? Are you an early morning guy? Does the time of the day not matter? Is it more of a mental state that like when do you get that like now's a good time to create? Like I feel like yeah, I mean because of the fact that abstract coming from the soul and then coming of a state of mental like here is right. Yeah, it's hard to put a timetable or a schedule on this, but as artists, we're always, well, what's your next big thing, and are you going to release a collection, and you're going to sell that? It's and also a lot of times too, I think people look for a meaning. It's when you look at a painting and you see something specific, it's like, oh, okay, like hey, there's the palmetto, or as this randalism, right? But when it comes to you, it's almost interesting because I feel like your way of creating is your style, which is a very interesting statement because I'm not a big abstract guy, but yet I can find a Jackson Pollock because I knew the way I knew his style. So even though abstract looks as abstract as it does, there is still a style to creating it, which is then becomes the artist's signature in a sense. And so that really has to come from a state of, I feel very comfortable with creating right now. I was just wondering, like, when do you feel is the best? Like, when do you feel like you create your best?
Well, I don't think that there's a specific moment to create that I am myself. I said like, okay, this is the best time that I do. I feel like it's more like I feel the call. You know, I feel the call even if I am super emotional charge, or I have a lot of different things in my mind, good, bad, whatever, and I need to pure, like, like if I am like drunk, it's like I am getting intoxicated, so I need to pull out all that things that made me get drunk, the alcohol and the stuff. I feel like it works in the same line for me when it comes to create. I need to pure out whatever is happening, if it's good, if it's bad. Maybe if I got a day in the nature and I got to visit a mountain, I got a lot of inspiration. I got a lot of sounds. Got a lot of textures of colors, and I love photography. So my work is more like I capture moments in essence, and then I abstracted them in painting later on in the week during the stuff. But of course, that's not always the same thing. Sometimes I have a collection, or sometimes I have a specific concept that I want to dive more deeply into that stuff. Example, I have a dark art works on super rare, which it's totally different to the line of work and colors that I used to do. And that collection came from a very obscure place of my life, which was the passing of my grandmother the last year. And in that moment of my life, I was just carrying so many emotional things into the family, into her living, like into her passing out, which she was my hero. I was feeling depressed. I was feeling super bad. And I just find out that creating art was the way to I get out a little bit of that stuff. And then when I get back into the piece and I see it, I just remember the moment where I create that. And I just remember why I do that specific thing in that moment. As same as the mini abstract, as same as primordial breath, as same as whatever other piece that has like a theme, has a technical composition, a technical craft, or in a specific color palette, or I just want to just create and just do whatever without no barriers, without nothing. Sometimes I am bored in my studio and I just put music and I just get a Canva out and I just select a few colors, start combining them, start playing with them, and I start painting them, but with no intention, like a real intention, like, oh, I'm gonna go to create this piece and master. No, it's more like a time frame, because the art of living is like the example of the life itself, and my life is not the same each day. I have days that I wake up super early, 5 in the morning, and I start my day, but I have other days that maybe I got to sleep not in a good way and I need to rest more, so my day gets started at 10 a.m. or something like that. So it's super variable and it's super like not controlled, and that's the idea that I want to do, because when you are a child and you paint and you create, even if you want to do abstract or even if you want to do figurative, you really don't think about, oh, I am doing this technical perfection. No, I just want to paint a cow, I just want to paint a tree. Because why? Because I see that tree and I enjoy that tree and I want to replicate it. But you don't think too much into the creative state. So now that I am an adult, I try to keep that same energy of child creativeness and to, of course, uplift it into a level of professional and into a level of that I've been like really, really painting 7 years, working in my craft, working in my lines, working in my expression, in my colors, in my compositions, to make this signature, as you mentioned, that I call it myself the artist language, which is that if you work in your artist language, no matter the medium that you use, and no matter the tools that you use to create, it will have your essence, and that will show up. And that's when you said, oh, I know it's a Jackson Pollock. Yeah. Why? Because I recognize the style. I recognize the splash. I recognize that there's only one person in the world that could create huge, big paintings in a massive way in that chaos, and that's Pollock. So that's my idea, that in at some point in my life, when I are not being able to be present here, so when I disappear, that in my art, the people remind myself and remind like, oh, that's a Luko. because I know his lines, I know his flow, I know his energy and his essence, because I know his story, and I learn from his story to understand his voice. You know, it's kind of a that's kind of the idea.
Luko, question. Who are some of your you mentioned some abstract creators that that you're very fond of. I was just curious, who are some of your influ? Do you have any influences?
Yeah, I
Go ahead.
have it. Give me a second. Give me a second. I need to search for a charge. I'll
Yeah,
be back.
yeah. Okay. While Luco searches for a charge, I will continue the show. Um, so, just a quick. I was gonna save it to the end, but I think Luco found the charge. Very interesting, this show, because I feel like when I speak to Luco, I'm learning about abstract art. Um, I've always had to paint very specific things. It's just got to see something. It's got to make sense. But it's just abstract is completely different. I just always wondered, what would come out,
We
especially.
back.
All right, we're back. Excellent. Okay. So, Luco, inspirations, influences, other like what? Do you ever look at anything to get inspired? You ever look at any other
Yeah,
artists? Yeah, go ahead, man. I'm gonna let you.
absolutely, man. Like I've been a study. As I mentioned, I didn't not only study great arts at the university, but I always also myself has been diving deeply into study abstraction and abstract art, the history, and different stuff. So I definitely have a lot of references and a lot of inspirations. The main ones are, of course, Jackson Pollock. I love the way he
So
create,
look at that.
and I love the way he expresses, because he started like a new movement in a moment that was like not common, and that was like a little bit weird, but he don't want it to be like, he wanted to be an artist, but he didn't know how to do it. So he find the ways to express and start expressing all his chaotic life, because he was an alcoholist and he was a crazy dude, but he was like trying to pure out this rage for life that he got in that moment, and he understand that with painting and the dripping technique that he developed, it will be awesome. I love Wassily Kandinsky. Kandinsky is one of the fathers of the abstraction, and it's just because I feel that the spiritual line that he understands through the colors and through the stuff with the music was a synergy, and that's when it get born like the lyrical abstraction. So when you see Wasili pieces, it's like literally if you see his spirit paintings and his soul paintings, because it's super different in the way that he do a line, in the way that he put a color, in the way that he combine a composition or whatever. And the third one, because I have a bunch, but I just want to mention these three because they are like my main. And this one is my favorite, is William de Kooning. William de Kooning is just amazing. It's just massive. He had a really, really figurative background, a lot of different things. And he started like to developing his abstraction from the emotional state of the life and of the things. And he started like to develop like different ways to create and to different ways to use the brush and ways to use the material itself, combining acrylics, combining oils, combining like different mediums into a same line of creativeness. So all of these creators have their own story and have their own line of creation, and it's not only when you really dive deeply into knowing what's happening and what's their life and what's the essence, that you start like understanding their art and understanding their way they expresses themselves. But yeah, and I feel like nowadays there's a bunch of amazing artists in the space, abstract creators that I personally admire a lot, and that I have been like following their journey and following their process, their creativeness, and their stuff, just to get inspired, because I feel like it's amazing to get inspired always, and it's amazing to have references, but also that the things that you create have your own signature and have your own line, not to do others, not copy others, but also like try to abstract itself the way they do, but in your own way and how you can do. If I want to use blue, I will use blue, but maybe I don't like the blue. So, okay, this guy creates with blue and it's amazing, but I like the red. I'm gonna do maybe the same and create maybe similar, but I will do with red in my line, in my essence, because I feel that the artist language is the signature that will really, really, really show up in whatever thing that you do.
It's a beautiful morning, Luko. Man, it's a pleasure to be here with you. It's just question. Yeah, you you ever see those guys that fill up those? I don't know if you would call this abstract. See, I'm curious because you're gonna teach me about abstract today, Luko. That's my objective for this show. You're more the teacher and the expert here. But have you ever seen the guys that I don't know how they do it? They got a canvas and then they make they spin. Like sometimes they do
Oh
it with
yeah,
buckets, or they have like the paint in like almost like a sweep, like a
and
sweep,
then
a
like it
container,
opens.
and then they pour it out, and then like 1,000 colors come out, and they swirl it around the canvas. Is that something that's good? Like what is the definition of abstract? Like what is considered abstract? Could be anything. Like right? I mean, I could take like I could take a palm leaf and I could just start smacking the canvas with different color paints, and then I could come back. I could use a different brush with it. I mean, abstract. There really are no kind of rules. It's like you give someone a coloring book and you just start coloring outside the like. There are no lines. There is no format. But yet technically there's a format in your, style, or the way you create. But abstract really, does it have any, like, are there any guidelines, or it's just whatever whatever. I mean, how would you define abstract? Maybe that's what I'm trying to ask.
I mean, I feel like it depends always in the intention. Like you do things with intention. If this guy that spread like this stuff and the things with the colors and go, I think which one are you mentioning? It's super colorful and this it do like a lot of performance art. He like wait hang over like hang from something and go
Yeah,
and throw
yeah. You
paint.
see
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
guys? They hang
Calling
over
that,
the
yeah.
big canvas and they're dumping buckets and.
Yeah, I mean that's the intention of them doing it. If it's good or if it's bad, I feel that there's no like, guideline for you to say, oh, it's good or it's bad. But when the people sometimes come and say like, oh, my kid could do that, oh, my dad could do that, or my nephew could paint that, I said like, yeah, it could do it, it could done it, but it will not be the same, you know? And sometimes the people really think that, oh, I can do that. And I always said like, okay, I would love to see it, try it out, and do it. Like, like, oh no, but I am not good because the colors and the stuff. No, no, do it. Like, like if you're saying like it's that the way, you just can do it. And I feel like the creative, even if it's abstraction, figurative, photography, 3D, digital, whatever, it's always in us. And it's on us to keep um like growing that seed, that creative seed, and it depends on us. But yeah, I feel like with the theme of abstraction, it's more of intention. Every line, every dot, every stroke, everything that you put into it, even if it's random, believe me, it's intentional because you are like wanted to do it. Maybe it's not like the way that you are expecting, but that's the magic. Because when it comes to abstraction, I always said to the people, you can see the time, you cannot see the time. You know what is the time, but you cannot see like, oh, there's the time, I see the time. You can see the emotions, you cannot see the emotions, but you can feel them, you know? So when it comes to abstraction, for me is to start understanding that is not what you are seeing, but it's more like in a deep meaning. So if you pass more than 10 minutes looking at an abstract piece, even if you don't like, you're gonna start releasing so many things by your own, in your own mind, in your own things. You're gonna start seeing figures, you're gonna start seeing different stuff. Like, for example, my mother. My mother is a figurative creator and she does a lot of different things. And when I start to painting, she always said to me, "Oh, I see a mountain with a waterfall." And I was like, "What? I don't see that. Like, I mean, I don't see that. But you see that." So I like the fact that with abstraction, there's no like a quantification of what are you looking at, but also there's always a open gap of having a free interpretation and having like a dialogue more directly with the art because it's more visceral, because it's more unexpected, because it's more like unrecognized. And when you have these things in your life, you really think about this stuff and you really like, because you as humans we always want to know the things. We always want to have the, I mean, like, it gives me anxiety not to know the stuff. So I need to have a response. I need to have a visual interpretation of that. If not, I'm gonna go crazy. And that's what I want. I like to play. That the people goes crazy because they don't understand. And if they want to understand, well, they're gonna have to dive deeply into or having a conversation with me or reading about my history or reading about the art of living or just seeing me painting and saying like, "Oh, this dude is abstract but he's painting and he dives into the craft and he's immortalizing his soul over there." So for me, the abstraction is more open than you think, but it's not whatever. It's not just to throw paint. It's not to do whatever you want and do the stuff. Yes, you can, and of course it's gonna be an abstract piece, but the really meaningful line and the really like signature that you said at the beginning, like, I know it's a Jackson Pollock, is the real goal for the abstract creators to like build up, you know? I mean, if I think in people in the space, I know what piece is from Ishika, you know? Ishika, the abstract painter, she's amazing. I know when I see a painting, an abstract painting, if it's from her or if it's from Thank You X, which is another abstract creator, amazing, but it's totally different because they have been working years and years and years in their craft, in their ways to do the line. Because it's, I mean, you can do this line and it's easy, but you cannot do the same line as me because my pressure, my flow, my essence, it's totally different than you. And that's where I feel that there's the huge value into the things that you create with intention, with the soul, the speaking at the front.
We're to believe it, we're about an hour in, Luko. So I'd love to I just maybe shoot the shit for another 10 more minutes and then get moving over to the computer and maybe bring up the last year. Maybe IG would be a great place for that, just to see what you've been up to for the last year. And kind of fill them in and continue the conversation. But it's very interesting what you say because that's where I think people get abstract art confused. It's very easy to look at a canvas and say, "Oh yeah, I could do that because I could." But there's technique that's been kind of like worked on, over a very long period of time, a process, years, where you've it's just listening like the stroke of the brush, the pressure of the brush, that all comes from you, So technically, yeah. Did you ever? This is what I forgot to ask you. This. Did you see the movie Jackson Pollock? Did you, with Ed Harris by any chance?
I'm not sure. I'm not so good at seeing it, but I love it. But I'm not sure if I saw that movie. Maybe yeah, but
Okay, so
yeah, I'm maybe I'm
um,
missing it.
so my used to work at the. Okay, so if you didn't know this, Jackson Pollock was he lived in the Hamptons, and I used to actually work at the Hampton Film Festival, and Ed Harris played Jackson Pollock, and they featured. I remember the year it came out. That was like a really big feature for the Hampton Film Festival because not only was it Jackson Pollock who represented the Hamptons because that's where he lived and that's where he created. But you know, Ed Harris showed up. They did a big premiere for the film, and they really pushed the film because of the fact that this is the area from which this artist was born and created from. And then the film showed his life, you know, and I remember, I remember watching the film, and you're right. He was, yeah, he used to lock himself in the room for days, creating these things, creating these massive canvases. The people used to go crazy over these things. The film was a really good. It was a really well done movie, and like I said, at that time, I don't think I found value in it. But the more and more that I get to understand art and get to understand, abstract, I said it'd be a pretty good film to watch. If you haven't seen it, if you have seen it, you'd remember it. I don't know if you're familiar with the actor Ed Harris, but did an excellent job playing the role. And I'll never forget watching it at the opening. But at that time, I wasn't a fine art guy. I wasn't into art. So I just, who's this guy? It's like, I guess he's an artist. But they made a big deal out of him because he was a big deal in the Hamptons. And I'll never forget that movie premiere and that movie opening. And then, it's just because I was, the event was what I enjoyed, right? Like I enjoyed the event, but there was just this Jackson Pollock theme about it that I didn't know what it was at the time. I just, I guess he's an artist. But it's funny how I was at that event, and that event comes to mind when I'm sitting there talking to you, and you're talking about very specific way to create, right? Your way, the Luko way. You also talk about Luko flow, and how you let it flow. What is, maybe you want to talk a little bit about Luko flow and what the meaning behind that is. I will say this, your logo, right? You guys have always nailed it with your logos, from you Zapata to Udasaka to you Luko. It's just interesting how you three guys gravitated towards each other and became friends, and then became the Art Cartel, and then also, you guys are such a unit at all of these events. Kind of like you find one, you find three, and you guys are always together. It is very good energy. And so I forgot where I was going with this. I got lost.
It's all
But
good.
I got lost a little. Oh, logo, right? But I always look for your little logo on your abstracts. I don't know why I get such a charge out of finding your logo somewhere in your abstract.
Yeah.
But I like that part of it. It's like it's probably the one part that I look at and I'm like, all right, recognizable, right? Because we're always looking for this recognizable thing in a painting. We expect that. That's why so many people misunderstand abstracts. But Luko flow, right? Like Luko, I wanted to say that about the logo because I always feel like you guys have such a good grasp on marketing. It's and here we are in this world of abstract, but yet it's your marketing that gives you that one familiarity. Am I saying that right? Familiarity? Yeah, it's that one familiarity outside of your style. To see that little, I don't know if you call him the wise guy or the smiley face, but when I see him, I'm like, Luko, and so I get a little charge out of that because like that's the one recognizable thing when I'm looking at a Luko work of art. But Luko flow, maybe you want to talk a little bit about that because not only that, but the art of living. These are things that you've kind of coined and become part of your creative process and who you are. Maybe you want to talk
kind of my universe.
Yeah. Why don't you talk a little bit about that? Why don't we explore a little bit about that? and then maybe we can head over to the computer and see what you've been up to for the last year. But go ahead, Luko.
Absolutely, man. Like, well, yeah, I'm glad. Thank you, Mark, for that because I do that intentional. It's like the way, I mean, in the years of making and doing the stuff, I have been like signing my artwork behind the artwork, or just putting my name down, or doing like different stuff. I have like different tags. You know, I come from
Bro,
like
I love finding your little guy in the piece, man. I love
exactly.
it.
I come from like this graffiti inspiration background with the spray paint and the stuff. So the tag is something really important. So when it comes to the face, it's like basically the logo of Luko. It's basically me, but in an animated way. Why? Because my right eye is smaller than the left eye, and I all my life has been winkling my eye when the people took me a photo. Why? I don't know. So that's the face, and I wanted to have like at the beginning, very beginning of my artistic journey, I wanted to have this anonymous personality of yeah, like a graffiti style and stuff. So I came up with the logo of my face, like it's my eyes. X because I feel like there's no a way. When you put an X in an equation, it's a number, X number. You know, it's not a 10, 11. No, it's like whatever number, the X. So that's why it's my right eye. It's my left eye. I am a left hand writer, and I do my all my things with the left hand.
You're a
And
lefty.
then with the winkle is the other eye. So nowadays, when I don't want to signature, like put my name in the artwork, I put the face, but in a very abstract way. So I am glad that you noticed that because it's kind of the signature that this abstraction is from Luko. Why? Because there's the face, you know? Sometimes I put the heart, the one love heart. Sometimes I put the palm tree, which is a minimalistic palm tree. It's not the big palm tree that you all know, but also like in a minimalistic palm tree. And there's like I call them like Easter eggs, like you know, like
Yeah,
these
yeah,
small Easter eggs
yeah.
that makes a painting of mine be mine more than my style, my line, my language, my stroke, my flow. And about the flow, man, I feel like it's a creative state. When I am painting, I am just going with the flow. I really don't pay attention to anything else. I am just super immersed in creating and in doing and in the line and in putting like mini abstracts. The mini abstracts, all of them were created with my bare hands. So I painted with my fingers and my stuff and the acrylics and the stuff. So it's kind of the way that I feel, and it became like that idea more because the guys they said like, oh, Luko, like Zapata and Huasaka, Luko creates with flow. You know, like it's kind of he's dancing. He's dancing when he's creating. He's moving around his body. He's doing these things. So I feel like I am moving with the flow, and of course, like connecting that idea with the essence that I am a Latino, that I am Colombian. The people here had a lot of flow, man. Like there's a lot of different people, different like cities, different like accents, different like foods, different like ways to dress, different like ways to think in one country. So I feel like we are a really biodiversity country, culture, um, yeah, like community in general, and I just want to like showcase that with my lines, with my stuff, with my things, because I mean I feel like since the beginning that I've been creating, no matter the way that I do, even if I when I was doing a lot of figurative, because before I became a painter, I was doing art and I was drawing a lot, and I used to do characters, and I used to do like these bubble graffiti letters and these like things in the figurative sense. I used to do a lot of figurative stuff in the university because of the classes, like draw, sculpture, different things that throw me to the figurative. So when I get like when paint get on me, like when paint found me, I understand that there was a way to create without having these parameters, without having these frames and guidelines, but also to express and move around and like pure all that energy and life that I want to showcase because I am trying to live my life each day at the 100% if it was my last day, you know? That's my main goal. And I want to be honest with that. And being honest with that is created in the same way that I am trying to live my life, you know?
Hey, Luko, question. Do you feel that, and I think I probably know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. Do you feel that when you go somewhere different, let's say a new place or let's say a place you've never been before, obviously traveling, very inspiring. Emotions, right? Happy, sad. I would imagine do all of these play a part in the creation process? Like, if you were to create from an upset state rather than a happy state or a love state, let's say you're in love, do all of these things change the process of creation? I mean, do different styles creep in,
Yep.
or yeah? Go ahead. I'm gonna let the expert. You, I'm gonna let
That's
the
all good.
expert talk about this because I don't know what I'm
No,
talking about right now.
but yeah, it makes totally sense. Like I feel like it depends on my emotional state or my experience in the moment, the way that I create, you know, like for example, the paintings that I did in Miami the last week has all the energy of Miami, colors, vibes, brushes, tools that I have to use at the hand, or ideas that I just came up with that. And I just created in that moment, you know? It's gonna be super different from the paintings that I create right now in my home after the trip, after downloading all the emotions and downloading all the state of consciousness, because it has like the stuff. So more than that, the way and the influence, I feel like in the textures, I like to play a lot that role in the textures of painting with my fingers or with painting with a brush or with painting with a spatula, like the yeah, like the yeah, with a spatula, or painting with a small detailed small brush or something like that. Each of them will represent a moment in my emotional state because I like to combine it as I am cooking the dinner. You know, when you're cooking, you put like, oh, I put a little bit of this, I put a little bit of that, I put a little bit of that, and then it came up, oh, this smells good, or you taste it and you say, maybe a little bit of salt or maybe a little bit of water could be better, and you try and you experiment, because for me the craft itself, it's experimentation, pure experimentation, and be open minded. Of course, at the beginning, when the painting is getting like done or is getting like a form that I am feeling comfortable, I need to start like closing this experimentational model. So maybe if I was throwing painting, oh hell no, I cannot throw painting anymore, because if I throw painting, I will mess it up all the things that I do. So now I cannot throw painting. I need to do a simple line of stuff. I need to be super calculus of the things that I do because I don't want to lose the progress that I already made. So that's when I said, like, it's not at all easy to build up an abstract painting because it's more complicated than you can imagine.
I was gonna ask you if you, but I already got the answer to it. It sounds like you do know when the painting's coming to an end, or when it's getting to that. I was gonna ask you, like, do you have a like, do you have a, is it just like, all right, I'm done, or like, you know what I'm saying, like, or is it sounds like paint, like you can feel when the painting is coming to an end. Um, it's I've
It's crazy. It's kind of a crazy thing because it's kind of a dialogue between you and the painting. Because I used to like paint and stay a lot of time like looking at the painting, like just looking at it and seeing it, like the corners and the stuff and the composition, and say like, okay, I feel like maybe needs a little bit more of green because I feel like I want to bring more green energy into that. So it's kind of a dialogue between you and the painting. But for me, when I start like doing the blacks and the white details, it's when I am getting done. When I am getting like finish it, and when I totally finish the shadows, the layers, the stuff, when I am putting like these black lines, black colors, white colors, the shadows, the lights, and playing with that is when I am feeling that I am getting done. But it's me, it's I mean, like this painting that I have up here, I've been in right now in the studio. I have no intention to finish it. It's a painting that it's like going with the flow because I am painting it with my bare hands. So I don't have a limit. I've been doing this for a month and a half maybe, and I have not plans to close it. I mean, I am just letting it dry, letting it go, letting it be, letting it like feel and do their stuff, and then I put the hand on it, and then I put like, okay, I don't like this. I'm gonna erase it. I'm gonna put like a huge purple stuff over there, and then I'm gonna start over. Or maybe there's sometimes that you have a painting and you just hate it. You just hate it, and you say, like, I don't like this shit. I don't like where it's going. I don't like the direction. I'm gonna start over. So I take a full white and throw it up, and boom, it's a new one. It's new time to start creating again. But it's kind of a process. It's kind of it's not like something that I need to finish or I need to accomplish. That's the same with the mini abstract. The mini abstract started like a project of how many pieces I can do for a collection. Then evolve into, okay, I want to do small pieces. I used to do big formats. I used to paint murals. I used to do, but how much energy I can pour into a small format? Okay, let's see. Let's start. Bam, 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 bam. I accomplished 50. Oh, that's amazing. Maybe I can do 100. I'm gonna try. But the first season of Mini Abstract, it's completely different at the second season of Mini Abstract. The first season of Mini Abstract, I painted with acrylics, with spray paint, and with markers. The second season, I painted only with acrylics and with my bare hands. So it's my art, but it's totally different. The textures are different, the composition is different, the colors are different, the combinations are different, but it's me. And that's the play that I love to play. That's the game that I love to play because it's kind of being a child. It's like just being a kid. I am just trying to be a kid myself and to keep it alive, but also like as I keep growing as an adult, as a professional, as a business art man with my entire like brand, um, community, projects or whatever in the adult part it means.
So I got two questions, and then we're headed over to the computer. Number one, you mentioned that you drew a lot of inspiration from insects. You being down there, and especially with the rainforests. What about amphibians? What about frogs? You ever take a look at all the different
I
crazy?
mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, because I mean, like, when you go to the nature, you find perfection,
Yeah,
literally
crazy,
perfection.
right?
It's like I don't know
Like
how
somebody
the hell
painted the fucking
exactly,
frogs, bro.
and the lines and the colors. It's
Yeah.
kind of sorry, it's so perfect, but it's kind of who painted this shit?
Yeah.
Like who
Yeah.
created this? Like I don't understand why
Yeah.
does it this has these colors and this other has these other colors.
Yeah.
Why this frog is green and why this frog is yellow with red? I don't understand, but I use that for inspiration because I love the textures, I love the colors, I love the combination, and if that exists in my world, why it couldn't not exist in my creative universe, which is painting. That's like the idea that I always have from the inspiration that I got from nature, life, textures, whatever. The textures of life at the end.
I'll tell you another mind blowing thing, which I don't know if you stumbled. Have you ever looked at saltwater fish? Like, have you ever looked at
The what?
saltwater fish?
Saltwater fish. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Okay. So, like, if So you ever go snorkeling?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so have you ever snorkeled the reefs, or a reef? Whether let's see, where would be the best fish? I would think Indonesia or Australia or the micro islands in that belt there. They have the Great Barrier Reef, which is home to like some of the greatest corals, but not just the coral, the fish, all of the tangs, it's all of the clownfish, a lot of the blennies, a lot of the hawkfish. If you look at if you just, there's shit. What's the name of that website? They Live Aquaria. So Live Aquaria is like this place that deals fish, but if you just go look and you look at all oh shit, I'm trying to think of the fish with the long, there's a fish and I can't remember its name. It's got a long streamer, but it has the colors on it are stripes. It's black, white, and yellow. The red,
Okay, like a zebra.
yeah, yeah, bro. It's go just you know how you look at frogs and you're like, who painted these? Just go look up the Tang family. If you look at the Tangs, the Naso Tang or the blonde Naso Tang, it's a gray fish. It looks kind of like a bullet, but it's got a long blonde streamer tail. And then shit, what is the name of that tang? There's like 7 or 8 different species of tangs, but if they have, so the way they defend themselves is on their back fin. They have a spike, and it's
Oh,
it's a bone, and so the spike comes out, and so they'll like if they're getting territorial, they get into a fight with a fish. They could literally go right up to a fish and slice the fish completely in half, or they can open up the fish, which would be the end of the fish, with this spike in their tail. And the spike in their tail, like on the nasotang, it's bright orange. The spike in the tail of different versions, like just the designs on these fish
yep.
make you the same thing as the frogs. You look at these fish and you're like, what the who fucking painted these things? You know, like you really feel like somebody up somewhere, the universe, somebody was up there like, we're going to have something called fish, and we need some designs for this. Let's get some designs down. But the designs in fish are, mind blowing. It's just as
Yep.
equally as much as saltwater fish, reef fish, the raccoon, the butterflies. They got the copper band butterfly, which is just the, and if you look at these, just the designs on them are perfect. Yeah, it's the same way you were describing the frogs. It's the same way it made me think when you were talking about insects, drawing inspiration from insects. Made me think about the frogs. Made me think about the fish. I'm gonna move over to the computer. I'm gonna start bringing up IG. We're just gonna start looking at everything you've done in the past year. But while I do that, Luko, do you think that in the future, the do you think your abstract bite ever changed? Do you think you might ever do, come back to the graffiti, or maybe or maybe do some figurative? What what do you what about the future, Luco? Have you ever thought about? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to ruin any surprises, but have have you ever thought?
No, it's a good.
Yeah, I'm just curious. You ever think that
Yeah,
maybe you might come back to doing some different stuff?
yeah, definitely will. As I've been enjoying so much like the photography all my life. I remember that I have a collection that the name is Textures of Life, which is photography with digital painting. So it's kind of the things that you can release and you can understand
That's
from the
interesting.
photography itself, but
Okay.
with my colors and with my lines. So definitely my plan in the future is to keep evolving. But to be honest with you, man, like since I grew up as an artist and I keep like growing my craft and growing my stuff, I always said to the guys, like to the art cartel, like it's crazy how I always want to get more abstract. abstracted. I want to be more abstracted, more visceral, more like pure. And you think like it it it's part of the journey into the, I mean, like in the blockchain, since I start like in NFTs, you can see like my entire journey in the artistical side, and how that I use the colors, and how I do like this super heavy compositions that it's like a crazy stuff that you don't understand, and how in the time I have been evolving to be more simple, more minimalistic, do more like slow lines, small lines, not these big compositions of abstraction itself. And I feel like it's kind of a learning in the process, learning in the progress. But definitely, I mean, I will love, and my plan is in the future to start like maybe getting back into graffiti letters and stuff, and I start like putting words into my creations, you know, like putting letters, putting messages, like messages that you can read, that you can see it in the painting. That is not
Ah.
only colors. That is like, oh, okay, I can do an abstract piece, but the center says love in a beautiful way, with beautiful letters, with beautiful calligraphy, or whatever it happens. But yeah, like part of my journey is that I don't like to create things that already exist. You know, that the people know, that the people like. Oh yeah, I know that is that a house or that of this, but I am not close to keep expanding myself into, you know, like the dreams and all this like surrealism, or different like inspirations of different things, you know, like at the end the artists just have the homework to represent their own world in their craft, in their line, in their inspiration, and in their work. How does the artist see the world? How does the artist feel the world? And that's something that I don't want to change it for me. And in the process that I've been growing, I feel like I've been super abstraction. I am an abstract mind. I am an abstract thinker, and I feel like I want to have more figurative stuff, but maybe I want not to create that at all at the end. But I can combine it. At the end, I want to keep like building my craft, growing as an artist, pouring all my energy, time, effort into my artistic language, and to keep evolving, you know, because at the end, my main goal is that the people see a piece of mine and said like, that's a Luko. I know that's a Luko. It's an original Luko. Why? I know that's a Luko. That's like my main goal, like, you know.
Well, interesting. The evolution of the Lucos. It's just listening. It is. There are things in your mind that you're going to evolve in the future, which is I like to see the evolution of the abstract. I brought us back to our show, Luko. January 13th. Almost 1 year now. So we haven't,
1 year, yeah.
yeah, almost. Even though I don't feel like it's been a year because I've seen you here, I've seen you there. You know, I've and we've always communicated, but it's a year since you've been on the show. So I brought us back to February 14th of this year. This was the first post after our show. It's Love Renaissance, right? And a bit, I'm gonna say this is a digital, yeah. Love Renaissance is a digital abstract, Luco.
Yeah, Love Renaissance is a digital one. It's a painting that we create for a drop with one love that was Agape, which was like the drop of the last year residency, and everything was like with the theme of love, with the theme of these colors, which is the pink and all this composition. So it was kind of a way to start painting for me with different colors that I don't used to do, because I normally use like yellows, greens, reds, blues, but not much pink and other tones. So this year for me has been to explore and do different things. So I start like with these pinks compositions with these different types of lines and type of textures. It's a pure digital painting. I did it on Procreate, and I also start like diving more in different colors like brown, turquoise, gold, different things into in the year. You know, like
Hey, let me ask you a question, Luko. From digital to physical, right? What are do you I mean, I'm sure you don't, but like what are the differences when it comes to because you know, with I guess is it the same because you're using your hands when it comes to digital, so you see it as it's you use your hands to create physicals, and then on the pad you got your hand. Do you use brushes? Do you use like what are the differences? Do you have to make adjustments when it comes to, do you have to think a different way? Do you have to create a different way when it comes to, switching over to digital? Or, obviously digital allows so much more play, right? Because you could
yeah,
just wipe the slate clean, where a
you
canvas you could,
have diversity. You have a
yeah.
lot of diversity in your hand, not only in the brushes that you can like literally with this pen have all the brushes of the world. Like literally, the Procreate
Yeah,
has a bunch of
there's a
different
lot of
brushes
brushes out
and
there.
lines. So with just one pen, you have all in one, and also the chromatic circle. You can have all the colors that you want to try. You know, you don't have to combine. You don't have to go to the store and buy them like, oh, give me green this, give me blue that.
Right,
No, you
right.
have all in the circle chromatic, so you can play more easier. For me, creating digital art, it's more like a process of catharsis in the way that I can do it more like in the moment, like it's done. Oh, I don't like it, I erase it. Oh, I cover it up. In the painting, in the physical painting, is more gestural, is more visceral, is more like, I mean, you put your soul, your body, everything on there. The textures. You go and through the paint from afar. You wait and you put water to see how does it dries or how does it go. So it's more kind of a experimental experience into the craft than digital. For me, digital is more like you have the tools and you can come up with the tools, and you have also the possibility to do different things in a easier way. You can put layers, you can add a layer, you can take out a layer. In the painting, you have to think about more what you want to put, where you want to put, how you want to put it, and at the same time not. It's very like dual. So I feel like both of them are amazing. I love both of them. In my first years of creating NFTs and when I started in the space in 2022 and all this stuff, I was only creating digital and minting digital art. All my collections in the history of Luko Web3 are digital pieces till the last year that I start like minting physical stuff or that I start like scanning physical papers or physical things and then working in on digital. But I love to play between mediums. I love to play with physical, put it on digital, paint it on digital, print it, paint it over on physical again, then scan it again on digital, and just have the result of this entire like crazy composition between both mediums, digital and physical.
When you put together a collection, right? When you say a collection, would you say a collection for an abstract artist such as yourself? Is it the way that like how would you define like what's the best way to say this? Like how so for instance, let's take you Zapata, right? He has his the ordinals, the different collection of birds, right?
Yep.
You look
Un
at it,
ordinary palometa.
yeah, yeah. He has I think it's I'm not sure how many of them are, but he has them all on the pieces of paper that are printed out that right. So he
Yep.
could you understand it's a collection because it's like, oh, look at all the different birds, but it's part of this ordinal collection, so forth and so on. When you create a collection, do you create a collection from like, okay, so these, let's say 12 pieces or these 4 pieces. Like right now, I have up, I got to change it to, emotions and color. I think that's the way, because I got to change it to the English translation. So hopefully it translates properly. But emotions in color, Arte de Vivir collection, right? When you create a collection, you have a certain set of tools maybe that you commit to, certain colors that you commit to, a particular, right? It's your style, but like, I'm going to do this set this way. Do I have it right? Like when it comes to putting together a collection, as far as like when it comes to an abstract artist, you're creating these pieces in maybe like, I don't, the same style or the same format or with that particular set of tools, whatever you just like. All right, so for this group, right, I'm gonna use these 3 pens, this twig of a tree, this scalpel, and this right. And now, does that become the like? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, how do you define a collection? Hopefully, I'm saying this properly.
No, yeah, totally good, totally good. Yeah, so when it comes to collections specifically, of course, I work down a guideline, down a concept, down an idea. Depending of the idea, if you see a collection of mine, you're gonna see the description, you're gonna see what was my head thinking about in that moment, and definitely the artwork that are part of that specific collection has something specific.
Right.
Example,
Right.
Textures of Light collection in Solana, it's only photography with digital painting. All the pieces that I'm going to put in there in that collection, Textures of Life, are going to be macro photography and digital painting. That's it. Arte de Vivir collection, which is my physical collection art. Like, I have different Arte de Vivir in different chains, but in each chain, if you go and click on Arte de Vivir collection, you know that that pieces come with physical, because are physical pieces scanned, or they have a physical proof, even if it's a print or if it's something like that. When it comes to emotions in color that you mentioned, that I think that you're looking at Instagram right now, it has the same size, the same materials, the same like colors. So I decided to paint just with green, just with blue, just with purples. So I don't paint purple, green, and blue. No, I paint only one with purples tones, different purples values, but just that. And then I go with the blue, and then I go with the green, and then I go with the yellow. That's the collection. So of course, when it comes to a collection itself, it has a completely think it yeah, like it's already draft. It's not like, oh, it came from the nothing and I come to put this here and this that and this there. No, it's kind of if I put a collection together, it's because I work into a line, into a concept, into an idea. Each piece is curated, each piece is part of the craft, is part of the history. If I travel, example for Textures of Life pieces are the result of my visit to a mountain here in Colombia that I went the last year with friends, and I took that macro photography. So if I want to come up again with a piece, I need to go to a natural place and take again macro photography, because if not, maybe it doesn't have the same line or the same like idea. So that's how it works for me.
Hey, Luko, where are these pieces on Instagram or only on Solana?
I mean, in Instagram, there's a lot. Let me check and see. Uh, I'm pretty sure that I shared some of those pieces of Textures of Life
Okay,
in,
maybe I just didn't get to them yet.
or maybe not. I'm not sure.
I don't think I saw
If
them
not,
on your gram,
yeah,
bro.
no, they're not. They're not.
So I have to bring this stuff up. I got to bring up what marketplace they on.
Yeah, they are on exchange.
Okay.
And Malo, you can find different collections that I have over there too.
Okay, I got Mallow. Mallow, yeah?
Malo, yeah.
All right, let me bring up Mallow. So at least I know I can join in the
Oh, but
conversation.
yeah, check it out. This one, it's on Instagram.
Okay.
This one is part of Textures of Life.
Let me create it. Let me. All right, I'm here. I'm here. I'm on your Mallow, but at least I could feel like I'm part of this conversation. Now, this is macro photography with digital on top of it, correct? Well, not everything, but how come I can't find the does the Mallow let you split it up into collections? Is that where I'm maybe that's hang on.
Yeah, I think you can
Hang
find,
on, I
but
got it. I
I'm not.
I got it. I
You
got
got
it.
it?
Yeah, yeah. I'm a little. I've never used Mallow before, so I'm trying to figure it out. I got the mini abstracts, I got the Arte di Vivier, and I got
Oh yeah,
Digisoul. Right? These are the three.
exactly. So
Okay.
we can talk with that three collections.
Okay.
Mini abstracts, easy. It's the small fragments of my soul. Literally, small pieces, small format. It has their own dynamic. It has their own concept. Normally, I bring a dynamic idea with perks for collectors. So if you collect more than one, more than five, more than 10, you're gonna unlock different things from merch, custom pieces, different things that I came up with that. Arte de vivir, which is with arte de vivir translated into English is the art of living. So arte de vivir has only physical pieces, literally only physical pieces that I have done in physical, and I have scanned them, and I then have minted them. So each one of the pieces in arte de vivir comes with a physical piece. It's not only the NFT but also the physical piece itself. And Digisoul is a digital collection. Literally, the name said Digi, the digital, and soul of Alma. So it's a collection with digital pieces, digital creations. Both have them different creations, different moments in my career, in my life, are part of different drops. Some of them created, some of them has been exhibited or something like that. But it's mainly digital art. So that's how I move myself into collections and stuff in the Web3 space, of course.
Now, um, let me get your thoughts on this for a little bit. Um, Somebody purchases the NFT, the physical comes with it, right?
Yep.
What if in real life somebody wants to purchase the physical? Do you give them the NFT as well, even though they don't might not even know what an NFT is?
Well, that is something that it's part of my goal. Like, to be honest with you, because I feel like with the NFT, we don't need to have like this paper certificate of authenticity. If the home get robbed or the home get
Yeah,
burned or
that's right.
whatever,
That's right.
you lose that.
Yeah,
But if you have the NFT, you are having like the proof
yeah,
that
yeah.
is yours, that is your certificate. So definitely in the Web3 space is more easier than in the traditional place because there's people that, oh, I like your art, but I don't care what is an NFT. I don't care what is a wallet. I don't want to do that. So I
Right.
said like, okay, I mean, there's the option, but my main goal is that the people know that purchasing my physical art will get a digital certificate of authenticity through the blockchain. That's my main goal
Yeah.
in the
So
future.
yeah, that's the smart right. So if I understand this correctly, Luco, you see the blockchain as a place where it can hold the COA, excuse me, the COA, right, the certificate of authenticity, where this digital artwork tracks, but yet there's the physical artwork along with it. Um, do you know that? I'm not sure if you do or you don't, but on your physical pieces, do you happen to put a chip into them anywhere or somewhere where they can scan and it brings them
Yeah,
to?
and not yet, not yet. I haven't done yet, but it's in my plans. It's in
Okay.
my plans. Like as I keep growing and as I keep like teaching the people what I am doing in this Web3 space, like in our bubble. I want to keep evolving that idea because at the end, it's kind of a rules breaker. This blockchain and this NFT and digital provenance and all these things into the art world, into the physical art world. So definitely, my plan is to, in a moment, to have with each physical piece an NFC chip that leads to the marketplace or to the page where it's located or whatever, for sure.
Yeah, that's I think that's the best I think that to me, that when we talk about digital collectibles, especially when it comes to physicals, I feel like that's the best really use case, right? So you got a physical, there's a chip in it. The chip leads you to the NFT. The NFT becomes your digital, COA, your digital certificate of authenticity. But then, but then what is it? The honor system. What up, guys? I see all you guys. I'll say hello to all you guys. What up, Ghost? What up, Jose? What up, Dorothy? Hito? One love.
La familia, la familia.
Yeah, everybody's in the house. What up, Marty?
Nice.
So yeah, I've always said that you got a physical. It has a chip, maybe an RFD chip, maybe even a QR code, something that they scan. It brings them back to the original NFT page, right? But then let me ask you a question. What are your thoughts on this, Luko? What happens when they transfer? What happens if they sell the physical? It's got to be honor system that they transfer the NFT. What if they don't transfer the NFT? Does it propose a problem? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I
I
always
totally
thought,
get.
yeah, I always wondered and thought about that. I don't know if you have any thoughts about that, but
Well, I think it's I mean it's something to think about it because I feel like the NFT opens a really new gap into the collectors to have the opportunity to market in secondary market the art in a future. So if it's that the idea with the physical and the stuff, i I feel it will need to lead the same line. If you sell the NFT, you need to drop the
right.
physical piece. Like it's the same line and the same thing. But that will happen only with physicals. But with digitals, I feel like it's kind of a different thing. If it comes with a print or if it comes with other physical type of art, you can still like sell the NFT without like, um, yeah, like without losing like the originality or something like that, but it's totally different when it comes to physical. I mean, I still thinking about how to do it in the best way possible because I haven't yet. Of course, I have sold physical pieces that has an NFT, and that I know that maybe the collector will never sell that physical piece because it's super priceless to him or to her. And that same line, it will keep handing the NFT at the same way. But I mean, I feel like there's room for both. There's room for having like this type of conversation. It only depends on how you communicate and of course how is your intentions behind that.
Isn't it it's isn't it interesting how on one side what a benefit, right? Because this digital COA, like you said, never gets lost. It's always it can be found. It could also trace, right? I think if I understand it correctly through speaking to the transient labs people, um, they have a program called Trace, right? And where
Yep.
it becomes that you have this physical and then there's this digital certificate of authenticity. I think it's a beautiful thing, right? Because
Yep.
it gives you the ability to trace your artwork. It gives you your ability to know it would change hands. It gives you the ability to see your percentage when your artwork is sold on the secondary, where a lot of times artists don't even if you buy a Banksy, somebody sells a Banksy to somebody else. Banksy don't see any percentages of that. He only saw the first sale, right? Whereas you might, if maybe it's sold in crypto, you might see your percentage if it goes through if there's a contract in place. I think there's so many great different positives about it, but a lot of it is the honor system. You have to, unless there was an actual, let's say, what if there was a app or well, I can't buy this from you until I receive the digital. It needs to be, okay, here's a better way of saying it. There needs to become like a standard, right?
Yeah.
An implementation of a standard into the art world of sales, where if you are, let's say you buy a normal piece, you're going to expect what? Hey, my certificate of authenticity. Here you go. That comes with the sale, right?
Yep.
It would have to work the same way. It'd have to, like, is there a certificate of authenticity? As a matter of fact, there is, but it's a digital, and I have to transfer that, and you need a wallet, and that's where people are like, what? Huh?
Yeah, like what's that? Yeah, exactly.
But the
But also, I was thinking about that that you say. Like, I feel like there will came up more tools towards that, because I feel like the physical and digital provenance is something that will stay longer, and that it's making the real impact into all this blockchain stuff. Like, talking about the tech side, like, of course, not about like the space, like community communications and stuff, just about the tech side. But also, I was thinking about, while I was talking to you, that could be crazy to think, but maybe this NFT, I mean, like, okay, collector, you can sell the NFT and make some money, but you will lose the certificate of the piece. Or you don't sell it and you will keep the certificate of the piece. So that makes, in a future, in years, 10, 20, 50, 100, whatever, makes the legacy more meaningful into the need to own the NFT with the physical, to have its full pack of
yeah,
originality.
right.
If you sell the NFT, okay, you can make money because of Luko, because whatever, and you can make some bucks, but you will lost having the full package of uh, an original by Luko. It's kind of a, I mean, it's about communication, and I still don't have the answer, to be honest. I feel like it will be in the works, it will be in the journey, where I like literally find what's the best way possible. But I was like literally thinking that, like, maybe if that the NFT works as the certificate, yeah, you can sell it and you can make money about of it, like it's the digital proof, but you also will lose, like, having this certificate. Of course, you're gonna have the pain, but if someday or whatever says like, oh, is that original? Oh yeah, but I sell the NFT. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a gameplay of authenticity and stuff. But at the end of the day, it will be a Luko. So it's kind of the way that you communicate and search like for these bridges between physical, digital, or the tools that you can use, or maybe like you can just have um, NFC attached to a certificate, literally not the artwork, but also like a certificate proof,
Hmm.
and just having that certificate in digital and having the NFT apart, which is the digital version of the physical, and that you can sell it. I mean, that could be a pack, and that could be like getting to the value of getting a Luko, or like, I mean, I want to get just an NFT, or I want to just get like the NFT with certificate, with the physical, with this, with that. And so, yeah, I mean, I feel like now it's super open to whatever.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential. Ghost, we got Ghost. Ghost gets very passionate about this subject. He's saying all the big, you know, uh, let's see. He said we can add a sticker with an RFID chip. You can read it from your phone. But he's right. He said that, but then all the big galleries would need to implement this into their, you know, That's really, if the art world, I think, implemented it might, hey, it might just happen through the NFT art digital world as well. Enough art. It's interesting because you have a couple weeks ago we had a guest. We had Kevin on from Light Print, and it's a lot of experience in the industry, almost over 30 years of printing experience. And he was saying how he's seeing the galleries evaporate right now because they're having difficulties making sales. However, Art Basel just recorded 40% more sales than they did last year. So the art market,
Yep.
yeah, they said they came out very strong for Art Basel, a lot of big sales. And there's about a handful, maybe 10. I think there was about maybe 7 to 10 sales over a million, different 10 different artworks. So the money's obviously flowing in the art world. People are collecting. The Art Basel came back super strong with a 40% increase of of sales. So it shows you that the art world is here and investing and make right. So obviously, it's not the fact that the galleries are having difficulty making sales. What I think truly is happening is artists are starting to take control of their careers, like what you're doing, like the hundreds of artists that we know in Spaces are doing, that the hundreds of artists over on IG are doing. Everybody, you're seeing the artists themselves turn the entire world in a different direction because now artists are taking control of their our own careers.
Yeah, they had the
Right?
opportunity to be autonomous, like to have all in the world, like like not into the third person, like not into, oh, I am an artist, I create, but I leave the marketing, or I leave like my voice or whatever to a gallery, to a
Right.
curator,
Right.
to like like in this moment we are like building our own voice, but also like we are working together with curators with to do meaningful exhibitions, to do meaningful showcases. Like, I mean, look the example of Jen with One Love. She's one of the best curators in the space, in the digital part, in the physical part. And she has been done a lot of amazing and meaningful exhibitions through the blockchain, through a gallery, which is in South Beach, Miami at the Gates Hotel, having this physical proof, but also with a digital part, which is like the idea, no, to work together with the curator, not that the curator does do the job for the artist to get them sales or something like that. So I feel like all these things that you are mentioning, all these things that just happen in our Basel, all the things that we are building here in the space, it just helps to keep growing and to keep like transcending, because at the end of the day, this digital era will be forever in the history of the arts as the abstract expressionism, as the figuratives, as the realism, as the impressionism, as the whatever type of line and direction that has been part and that has marked a really, really step into the before and after of something.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good conversation, Luko. I think it's. I like when I see. I've always been a fan of the physical and the digital integration of the world. And now what we're sitting here talking about is artists. We're going through your IG again, and just all the little videos, commercials. To me, you're creating commercials, little whips, little stories. You have the ability to reach an entire internet now. It's not like the closed door system where it used to be. You got bang on the door, right now. I bet you there are artists that have nothing to do with galleries that are probably outselling gallery represented artists right now because of their access to the internet, because of their access to collectors. There's an entire world out there. And I don't think the galleries are closing because the art world is doing poorly. I think the art world is booming better than it's ever been. I think
Yep.
what's going on is the transition of power. It's not such a closed door thing anymore because anybody can get on social media. Anybody can pick up a brush. Anybody can pick up a camera. Anybody can create is what I'm trying to say. Anyone has the ability to create today. And then they have the ability to bring their creations to an audience, whether it's through TikTok, whether it's through YouTube, whether it's through, X. It's you'd be silly not to get in. People talk about NFTs and crypto and and it's silly not to get. To me, it's an octopus, right? It's another
Yep.
arm. It's another arm somewhere. An arm in the physical
It's
world.
a tool, you
Right,
know?
right. Yeah,
It's a
and
tool for creatives,
it's
and it's a
silly
great
not
tool.
to. Yeah, it's silly not to be everywhere, right? I think people get a little twisted up about things. Except, well, there's a digital. I only buy physical. But to me, there's a whole universe, and there's different places in the universe where anyone can succeed. You never know where your success is gonna come from.
Or
Um,
who are you looking, yeah, like who are you be seen from,
right,
like you never
right,
know who is
right,
looking at you or whatever is happening. So it's better not to do it, or to try it out and see what happens. I feel like it's worth it to just put it out and to let it go, and like to share your voice and do the stuff, and that energy will lead you up to the great good connections, will lead you up to people that connects with your essence, with your soul, also with your art, with your history. But it's that the true, like, now, with this stage, with this moment, in this digital renaissance that we are living, in the art scene, in the art market, in the art world, we're looking like these broke barriers of not of having like the possibility to you get the connection, to you talk to the collector, to you share your voice and share your history. Not that you go to a place and say like, hey, this is me, this is my art, and someone that is not interested in nothing more than money or whatever said like, oh no, that's not valued. Oh no, that's not coming inside here. And you go, oh shit, like I got rejected. Now it's like, okay,
right,
I will keep being rejected. That's life, but I am also doing the work by
right.
myself,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, 100%, Luca. I think the game has changed. I think with the implementation of social media is what's causing the issues for the galleries, right? The galleries that wanted to have the gatedness to it, there's no more gates, because
Yep.
now it's all based on followers, success, making the opportunities for yourself.
Hype or whatever. Yeah.
Everybody has that opportunity now, right? And then on top of it, reaching out to a world of collectors. You're not, when you go to a gallery, you're refined to the collectors that are a part of that gallery. When you go to when you go online, you're open to an entire world of collectors now. You're not confined to what one gallery can bring you. You are
Yep.
opening up to the other side of the world. You never know who's gonna, like you said, you never know who's gonna see what, who's gonna like what, who's gonna, it's just you might make a sale and send it to the other side of the planet, which you might have never had that ability if you were only working with galleries, right? So now, like, to me, the entire world has changed. All right. We just what I did is I took everybody through the last year. So I want everybody to understand this is not like an origin show. Luko had a show a year ago where we got to learn about Luko, and if you want to learn more about his background, that would be the show to go back and watch. But this show, I just took him from our last show to this show. So I took him through your whole year, Luko, all the new collections, all of your travels. You had New York. You also had the Chromaverse, and then also a few different exhibitions in here, as well as leading up to Art Basel as well. And then you had the big sale in here as well, for I don't want to say it wrong,
Primordial breath.
primordial breath,
Yeah.
which I had a chance to see on display
Yep.
down at Jutta Gallery. Right, I got the right. That's This is the one that was,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the piece. That's the
Yeah.
piece. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice to see all you guys hung together. It was a good chance to meet all you guys. Um, Luko, what else do I want to show them? Is there anything in particular that we want to talk about or show them? I kind of did a brief, rundown of the year so everybody saw what you're up to and what you got going on. But I don't know if there's anything specifically you want to bring attention to.
I mean, no, I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to speak today.
Oh,
Like, for
wait,
real.
hang on, Luco. We got one more thing to talk about. Super rare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, super rare. I think that's a big thing, right? This is didn't you your first you were accepted to super rare this year, correct?
No, I got accepted the last year.
Oh, it
I
was
got
last year.
accepted
Okay.
the last year, and I did like my Genesis drop over there, and I decided to let like super rare as this like premium marketplace platform where I sold like my premium pieces. So all the pieces that I have been minting, the physical ones, of course, on super rare are physicals, but also are like premium. Premium because of the history, premium because of the provenance and exhibitions that they were part of, or the meaning, collaborations, or whatever. And yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. But yeah, I mean, I am a multi-chain artist. I love to consider myself a multi-chain artist because I work in Tesos, I work in Solana, I work in Ethereum. I also have art on Bitcoin, inscribed on Bitcoin too. And well, like, I mean, my plan is to keep evolving myself and to keep like channeling my art, my life, my processes, my experiences through the different channels and different collections, through the blockchain and through the space. I have no like barriers or preferences like, oh, I am a maxi of this, I am a maxi. I am not a maxi. I am a maxi of art, to be honest, to art and life. And my plan is to keep like developing myself into meaningful ways. This year I had the opportunity to go like a scholarship coach with Scotty Russell. Big shout out to him and big shout out to Dira Sanka for the opportunity. And working with him helped me a lot to start like developing my business, my art business in meaningful ways. So having art seasons, having art drops, having a specific collection drops. Because before that, I was like working like tireless in whatever, and I was minting here, minting there, doing myself here, there, and I had a lot of art available for get, but I was not having like the clear line or direction or concept. So for 2026, my idea is to keep minting art, to keep doing physicals and having this physical, digital, NFT experience, and of course, like to keep evolving myself into the digital part of the art and the site. But yeah, I have collections prepared. I have some stuff ready before the year closes. I am planning to drop soon a collection on Transient Labs, which is gonna be an open edition of 10 pieces. Just one is the 101 with it will come with a print, and also I am planning to drop in the next year my first big physical collection, which is Circles of Life. It's a collection of circular canvases that I've been painting during an entire year since the 2024, and I'll be probably dropping them on January, February on Transient too, because I really enjoy their platform and their tools. And yeah, that's my plan.
Do you question Luco? And we're gonna start to wrap it up. I think we covered it. I don't know why. I apologize. I don't know why I thought super rare was this year. I don't. And because I was gonna
Oh,
say,
it's okay.
yeah, I don't know why I
No worries. It's
spaced for
okay.
some reason, but Parcero, which I remember this piece, was one of my
Oh yeah.
yeah. This is one of my favorite pieces personally. One of my favorite pieces of your use of color as well. But I remember this piece, and I'm like, why did I think he just got on? So sorry, I spaced out there for a second. Okay, Luco, do me a favor. What is the best way someone wants to reach out to you, someone wants to contact you, see more of your art? Give me all that information right now, please.
Well, you can find me in the socials like Luko Art, line down, Luko Art line down. I'm mostly in all places in the social side like that. That's my username. And of course, I have a link tree where you can find like different links to collections in Solana, Super Rare. I have also Gamma, which is in Bitcoin, and I have also a drip to like my drip channel, which I am planning to get back soon into that, maybe. And yeah, that's the way. For 2026, my idea is to build my web page. To be honest, like I want to have like my own web page and have everything centered into
Luco,
that.
it's
So
crazy.
yeah,
It's crazy that you just said that. Ghost, Ghost just wrote. If he wants a nice web page to take his online representation to the next level, please connect us. So maybe I can make that connection for you.
oh,
He
absolutely.
he just wrote it, and I was gonna ask you. I was just gonna ask you a question about a personal web page if there's any plans for it. But I'll get you. I'll get you to. Not only am I gonna get you the audio book for Eckhart Tolle,
And
but
also, if you can send me the name of the movie, the Jackson Pollock
oh, the
movie,
Jackson Pollock movie.
please.
All right, let
Yeah,
me. And I got other things I need to send you too as well, Luca. So I got, believe it or not, I started
a
dropping.
list.
Yeah, I do. I got a list of things that I need to get to you. Jackson, let me write this down right now. So I'm gonna connect you and Ghost. Connect you and Ghost. And then the Eckhart, and then I gotta get you photos. Okay, I gotta get all this stuff to you. All right. Okay, so let me do this real quick. Let me go through this. All right, guys. So this is Luco's. This will start off as X. This is his X page over here. It's Luco Art _. And Ghost, if you're out there, you heard him. You should just drop him a message. He's pretty good on IG. Little while on X. So and at Telegram too. So I'll connect you guys though. But you got to get on Ghost. You got to get on IG. But I'll connect you in X and Telegram as well. Okay, Luco Art _ on IG as well. You know it's him because you see his logo, which I love. I'm a big fan of the logo. I think you guys nail it every single time. This is his link tree. And on his link tree, you can find links to Super Rare, Mallow Art, Gamma, which is Bitcoin, and then Drip. I like you keep your link tree very clean and very concise, Luco. So kudos to you. Sometimes you go to
Thank
link
you, man.
trees and there's like, and just it's just, oh shit. But I like a clean link tree, very easy. Guys, this is his. Let me make sure you guys are seeing everything. So let me bring up his Super Rare. This is his Super Rare. Let me make sure that's on screen. Very good. And then also his Mallow. How you like Mallow? You like Mallow?
I like Mallow, man.
It looks
I
nice. It got a
enjoy it
nice
so
clean
much.
layout.
Yeah, I
I
feel
never
like
tried Mallow.
they have amazing tools for creators, like for real. Like they have like you can not just mint your artwork, but you have different types of ways to mint it and to share it and have like different features. I enjoy so much Mallow, to be honest.
Okay. Maybe I'll pop up over there. All right. This is Luco's Gamma, which is BTC. And then last but not least, we have Luco's Drip, which this is Luco's Drip right here. So plenty of ways to see his art, plenty of ways to collect his art. Also plenty of ways to get in touch with them and reach out to him. All right. All right, Luco, let me reset these screens and let's get back to saying good night to everybody. Well, good morning.
Good day.
Good day. Yeah, good day. Let me get these screens back to. Yeah. Wow. Luco, 2 hours, 20 minutes. That fast, huh? A good conversation.
Yeah, it was amazing, man. Thank you. I really enjoyed so
All right.
much this morning combo.
Let me switch back the camera so you're not looking. Yeah, and I want to thank you for the course on abstract, bro.
Oh yeah, whenever you want. Whenever you
And not
want.
only
Let
that,
us
but
know.
an avid cat lover, which Josh tells me about all the time. He's like, "You ever show Luko your cat?" I'm like, "No, I don't think Luko knows I have it." He's like, "Show him your cat." I'm like, he's like, "Luko's got a cat. He loves cats." I'm like, "We talk about cats all the time." What up, Big
Yeah, we
Money?
have talked a lot about cats.
Yeah, that's what he. You know, what would be cool, Luko? Do you know the I don't know what you call it. They call it the Cheshire cat. Do you know what the the Cheshire cat? I think
Chester cat?
Cheshire cat.
Oh
Cheshire.
yeah, the black and white.
Is it the cat from Oh shit! What is the cat from? Uh,
Felix the cat.
no, no. Uh, Alice in Wonderland. You know the cat from Alice in Wonderland?
Oh, the smiley one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. I got like an envision of like the smiling cat. Like it's just eyes and a mouth, right? But like, what if you did an abstract over that? Or some, I don't know, man.
That could be great.
Just something for cats, bro. Something for cats. Um, all right. So I don't know why that just came to my mind, but that just jumped in there. I was thinking like your style would look awesome with that. With that, just I don't know. Maybe your logo reminds me of that as well. A little bit of the Cheshire cat. I think that's how you say it. I might be saying it wrong. Anyways, Luko, before we say goodbye, maybe some inspirational words for everybody. As you know, some people out there that yeah, I'm glad we had a chance to recap and catch up. It's been almost a year. I had the other two guys on, and I was like, I gotta go. We gotta get Luko, and so I thought it was the perfect timing for a show, and so much to talk about because normally, you do a show too quick. Sometimes somebody, you give them a nice 8-9 months, and there's a lot of work that you could really see someone gets done, and you got a lot of work done, a lot of exhibitions, a lot to talk about. So I like that. That shows the evolution of an artist. That shows an artist moving, keeping active, keeping creative. And to me, that just says great investment, right? Because at least I know that that person wasn't, one and done or just gone. He's still here. He's still creating. He's still working. Okay. On that note, Luko, leave all the abstract artists out there with maybe some inspirational words when it comes to.
Well, man, no, like for real. First, thank you everyone who joined it. Thank you everyone for the comments, for the likes, for the energy, for the vibes. I really appreciate it so much. Thank you, Mark, for the time. It was amazing to catch up a year after and just to talk about life, art, abstraction. It was a wonderful conversation. I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much for giving me the time and the opportunity to share a little bit. And for everyone out there, I mean, like, don't give up, like with intention, with vision, with mission, and with trust in yourself, you can achieve huge things. And it all depends on how you speak it up and how you share with honestly your soul and your voice. So no matter what, if you have a dream, if you have a line, if you have a vision, chase it until you make it, and it will be amazing. Be present and enjoy life as you enjoy art. That's the art of living, baby.
All right, all right. Luko, before we say goodbye, one last question, which is artist guest on the show always gets to pick a song. So we need a song from you to close out on. If you want a couple minutes to think about it, or if you have something,
Okay.
yeah, if you have
uh,
something,
I, I got I got one.
okay, okay. You want to
It's
tell
in
everybody?
I can send it to you if you want to put it, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do
I
me a
can tell it everyone. I mean, it's in Spanish, so probably no one understand, but you're gonna feel the vibes.
what, we got Spanish people watching. Just tell them.
The name is Hubiera. I mean, it's in Spanish, so I will send it to you. The
Se-
Yeah, like the
You find
the
me. Do me a
link.
favor. Find me to YouTube. Send it on X. Just or yeah or IG, whichever.
Oh, I have in Spotify. It works.
I don't know, but can I go? Can I go? Oh, it's only in Spotify. There's no
Oh, I
YouTube.
can search it. I can search it in YouTube. No problem.
All right, all
Let
right.
me let me share it.
Do me a favor.
I will share with you the link.
Awesome. Send me that link. Hang on for 2 minutes. Let me just close out the show, and I'll be back. Then we're gonna say goodbye to everybody, and then we'll say goodbye to everybody who dropped comments. So just give me a second to close the show and send me that link so I have it ready. Thank you. Okay. Full. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. So we haven't. So you'll start seeing some recap shows. I know that was Luko, which is excited to have him back. It's been almost a year. I know Fa Fidel is coming back on. So we're going to be doing a lot of recap. We're going to be doing some recap shows. Also some new guests, some new, lot of stuff happening. We have a new show that we're introducing, which is HOP Auctions. So we're trying a lot of new things, working a lot of new stuff out in the background. Okay, so that's this week. We didn't have a Wednesday show, but we did have a Monday show. Monday we had an awesome guest. We had Trish on. Trish is a very diversified artist, and she was able to show us everything. Got a chance to meet her at NFT NYC. It was her bag that caught my attention, but so much more the Trish than just her bags. So she had an awesome show. You go back and check that out on Monday. And then here we are on Friday already with Luko, closing out the week. Next week.
Share it, bro.
You got okay.
I just shared with you the link on Telegram.
All right, thank you. Hang on, Luko. Give me 1 minute. What else? What else? Okay. After this, TGIF. We'll see everybody at TGIF. And quick note about the best of the best. That exhibition is currently, we are bringing in all of the. So for everybody out there, you need to get us the high-res live files. I'm going to talk to everybody about that today. And then once we get all those printed, what I think we're going to do is just because of the conflict that we had with not having all the high-res files and working out the behind the scenes with all the artists, I think what we might do is we might push that a little bit to the end of either December or the beginning of January, especially with the holidays. I don't want to fight the holidays, especially Christmas. I was worried about conflicting with Art Basel, but because of this little push, we're just working on that date. So we're just trying to figure out the right time to do the exhibition where we're not in conflict with anything. And so on that note, once we have that date, we'll let everybody know. Once we have all files in possession and we get the printing and we have everything ready for display, we will take one step closer. So figure either end of December. I think somewhere in there it's going to happen. On that note, guys, that's the week. Next week, who are our guests? I know we have two really good guests. Who are they? I'll say that when I get over to the computer. But it's Friday, y'all. Get out there, create some great art. I appreciate everybody jumping in on the show. I'm going to go back over here and say goodbye to everybody. But yeah. That's about it. And don't forget to jump in TGIF with us. We'll be there. Only 2 spaces, linked by art and TGIF. So let me bring Luko back up to say goodbye to everybody. All right, Luko, just be aware you're back on screen. Full art. Very good. All right. It's been a very enjoyable conversation, Luko.
Mark, thank you. Yeah, I really enjoyed so much this morning. I am ready to kick start the day and all the work that I have for this day. But I really enjoyed the time talking to you and sharing a little bit about the art of living and abstraction and life and love, experience, community, opportunities. Yeah, it was a great conversation. Thank you, and thank you everyone who joined it.
I think you're on fire. You're on fire 2025, Luko. I could say that because I've been here since 2021. I've watched enough of all you guys, and I really felt like you got focused and exploded in 2000, especially over the summer, man. You had a lot of good energy, a lot of good, and you're seeing it all transition right now. So you've been crushing it. And that's just something I'd like to. Oh, hang on, let me switch this camera back. That's just something I'd like to share with you because, from an outside perspective, I'm not very, I'm not in everybody's DMs, and I'm not on. I don't. Anna yelled at me. She said, "Mark, you don't post on enough people's art, and you don't let them know you're." But I'm always watching. I'm always paying attention, and I'm always supporting. So I felt like this was a big year for you. I really do. I felt like. I just don't know what it is. I could see it, right? I could just see it in you building, especially your presentation. It was nice to see the sales. It's nice to see the movement, and you created a lot of different stuff, a lot of different collections, and been very active. But that's even more than that. I felt like when I saw you redoing the little studio, I was like, he's getting focused, man. So, it's interesting. We let some things go in life, and I think we see a little clearer. We introduce some things, and we see a little chaos, right? So, very
Yep.
important to protect yourself and make sure you have the right things around you, not the wrong things. On that note, let's say goodbye to everybody. We'll jump over here to Twitch. Ghost lighting up Twitch. Was here for the whole show. Um, oh, Twitch. Oh, Ghost knows Eckhart Tolle. There's only now. That's right. That's right. Alice, thank you for tuning in. Ghost, thank you for tuning in. We got to get you and Ghost together. We got to hook you guys up and get you together. Over on Facebook, Big Money, good morning. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Thank you for being part of the show. YouTube, oh, look at this. What's up, Chris? Oh, we got a message on YouTube. What's up, Chris? Thank you for being part of the show. Thank you for joining in. Over on, everything's lit up today. We got comments anywhere. Hudasaka. You Zapata, your boys, of course, are over on IG.
My G's.
It's interesting how different people, different crowds, different social media. Pega, good morning. Thank you guys for all being part of this. Thank you for joining in. Roya, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being part of it. Yeah, you got the snow right, Roya. It was snowing last night. It's going to snow over the weekend. Chris Picks Photo, thank you for joining. Thank you for stopping in. You Zapata says, let's go, but we missed these guys. I got to get comments all into one spot. Rana G. Fahim, photography. Thank you for joining in. Logan, Doorman, Marie, Sarcastic Rob, Yarko, JCH Iban Photography, Mohart. Oh, your boy. TI Vision. Oh, Mohart's dropping 100s. You guys must have all been good friends when you were up here in Brooklyn. Ral 8026, Big Sig, Significance, April Bears, and Art of Nafis. I want to thank all you guys for joining in. Thank you for being part of the show. Good to see you, Michael. Michael, Michael O'Malley.
Big shout out to Michael.
Michael says hello.
Legit.
All right, let's last but not least, let's jump over here to X. Chris, good morning, Chris. And thank you for being the one person who dropped a comment over on YouTube. We never get comments on YouTube. Jose Ojeda says hello. Thank you for stopping in. Jose, congratulations on your big sale, man. Yeah.
Massive.
Very good for you, bro. I'm happy. That's a good energy, good vibes, bro. Dorothy, thank you for dropping in. Thank you for being part of the show. Hito, Dorothy's showing you much love. Mari over here. Ghost back over here. And one love. All right, guys. That is all I got. That's all me and Luko got. Luko, say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for the time, for the energy, for the love. See you in the timeline.
Yeah, see you in Web3, guys. I'm gonna bring up Luko's song here. Let's bring up Luko's song. How am I gonna get this over here? Copy. Let me send this. I know who I'm gonna send this to. Sometimes I gotta send it to my computer because I think I have Telegram on my computer, but I'm not going to fumble around with that right now. All right, let's bring this track up. And guys, we'll see you over on TGIF in a little bit. On that note, it's been a great show. Luko, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Marc.
It's been a pleasure, and only wish you continued success. And I know last year you might have popped up on the we're doing a Christmas show. We're doing it again. Everybody's welcome, open format. Everybody's allowed to come in and say hello, Merry Christmas. I'll let you know the date. Hopefully you could pop in and say hi. But
please do.
I will. Thank you so much, Luko, for being part of the show. And nothing but success, bro.
Thanks, man. Same. Take care.
All right, Luko, be good.
Esparchado, pero relajado, perro, que yo aquí pasa otra cosa. Ya lo que sigue aquí en adelante estás entero.
Con toda la sinceridad del caso, feliz en mi hogar, en mi trabajo, en mi cosa y todo. Naturalmente, humanamente, feliz me siento.
De haber sabido que estaban dormidos, hubiera entrado pisando tan duro que porque tengo los
Luko, just hang on if you're still there.
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, hang on. Let me close out the show.
Esa mierda solo trae estrés. Será mejor odiar un trabajo normal que por lo menos viene con un puto pago a final del mes. De haber sabido que solo hay una oportunidad, hubiera dicho fuck you y fuck manténlo real. Estudiar los fundadores es elemental. Yo digo que estudiarme eso sí es fundamental. Por ahí dijeron que los lindos no rapean. Ahí se ganaron una discusión con mi abuela. Este cuento de raperos me la vuela. Analfabetos que se las dan de escuela. Yo solo quiero tener a mi mamá tuya. ¿Quién me estará llamando a las 3 de la madrugada? De haber sabido que te ibas a ir, hermano, juro que hubiera contestado esa llamada, pero...
Hay envidiosos con estilo propio y les luce, pero son cosas que mira la mano, ¿ve? Nacieron el mismo día, junticos, la misma madre, el mismo padre. No son iguales.
Elige bien tus amistades, como los términos que usas. Y haber sabido que el que es firme en su palabra no hubiera tenido que andar con excusas. Yeah, mi alma tiene fracturas. Dicen que Dios no ahorca pero aprieta. Si la vida me la pone oscura, veré la luz a través de las grietas. La mala pa'l que me tira la buena medias. La mala pa'l que dice que solo sirvo pa' instrumentales. Juro lesionar al que se me interponga en poner a vivir a mamá con sus comodidades. Estamos bailando entre serpientes, al ritmo de puñaladas bailables. Que tiren la mala de frente de una vez, baby. Esa será la mayor de sus bondades. Rayones, cicatrices, del cuando pude pero no quise. No sobreanalice pa' que no se paralice. De haber sabido, hubiera no existe.
And that was a damn good show. See everybody on the next one. Have a great weekend, guys. Peace.
Take care, brother.